So a little bit of a shorter one today, actually. Today I just kind of wanted to record a short episode to talk about AI. I had a friend. He told me actually. He said, you know, hey, I think AI is gonna replace us. I actually had a coworker actually tell me this as well one time. He was like, hey, so eventually we're gonna get replaced by AI. Like it's every single developer that I hear, and it's insane, right? Because it's insane to think that developers would create something that would replace themselves. I don't think anyone in the right mind would do that. But hey, you know what? You do you, fam. Now, AI is like come out a long way, and I think that a lot of developers actually just use it as a crutch. And I think that's one of my most biggest frustrations towards AI in general is that developers are just using it as a crutch. They're not learning how to code anymore. They go into AI and they're like, how do I do this bubble sort, or how do I do this, or how do I do that? And they're replacing Google, and I get it. But then I ask them, I'm like, well, do you know what you typed in? And most of the time they'll tell me, no, I don't. Yeah, so if you don't know what you're typing in from the AI, then I think that's probably one of the dangerous things, right? Because what happens when AI comes out, right? And it tells us it's like, hey, every human needs to die. Well, okay, we're all just gonna die then, I guess, because if you're just willing to blindly follow the machine that you should be the master of, right? I'm probably gonna get canceled for saying this. You should be, what's a better word that's not gonna get me banned? You should be the overlord of your computers, right? Your computers do not have emotions. You should have full control over what you're doing with them, and they should be there to serve you, right? You shouldn't be there to serve them. And I think this is a line that we really have to draw here as well. But back to the point of replacing AI with your mind. Some people are talking about the AI integrated brain chip with Elon Musk and all these other things. I'm not really educated on these topics, so someone down in the comments is going to end up roasting me eventually. But if you really think about it, right, the whole AI scene has just been growing up, and it's still a little bit of like a small child. It's still growing. Eventually, we're gonna hit a point where you're just gonna be able to type into something. I know ChatGPT just came out with Sora, which is really amazing. I'm super pumped. I saw a preview for that. You can type in whatever you want to see, and then ChatGPT will just create it for you. I said, oh wow. So now I can create the anime of my dreams, right? Huge anime lover. And they said, well, no, right now you're only up to about a minute. And then I really got thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, I guess that does make sense. Because I have tried to use Stable Diffusion before. And for you normies out there, actually, Stable Diffusion is where you can use your GPU to generate AI images. And so when you use Stable Diffusion, you can basically create whatever you want offline. Some people kind of take this a little far and they create themselves a little waifu thing going on. They have their little anime girls all over the place and draw up their weird Pepe Linux fantasies. But I think what you're really going to see more now is just in general people relying on the AI when they probably shouldn't be. AI is going to make mistakes. Personally, I've used it in place of just typing it out myself. And, the AI has generated some good suggestions. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's going to be people out there that are going to say, something amongst the lines of, hey, AI is good. It's providing good responses. And I do agree to an extent. But I also have a problem with AI not having the full context of the situation. And some of the things I do in the programming world and some of the things that I do in general are highly contextual, and people don't take that into account because they're getting instantaneous Google searches that they've always had before. So if you're using it to replace a single Google search, then maybe it's great. But if you're trying to do something highly contextual, then it's not going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I encourage you today, as you run out and you type in more of your Pepe memes into the AI search generator, which I'm sure it's totally going to generate a copyrighted frog, but that's aside the point. um, I encourage you think about your AI usage and what we're really feeding it. And then if you're one of the skeptics that believe AI is going to replace you, then I encourage you to think about it. Why are you feeding its data set? And with that, let's go get some more coffee.